Welcome back. I was starting to respond to comments, and I noticed that some of them, um, for me to articulate myself well, would the response would be longer than the box that YouTube allows. So, since I used to do podcasts all the time, I figured, you know what, I'll just record my answers and then link to it. So if you want to know the answer, then you can listen. So let's do this. Here's the first one. I'm gonna do 5 of them. Why don't I play evil more often? This was a question on a Walking Dead 400 video, and this is going to sound really messed up, but I don't consider those choices evil when I said, okay, this person is going to die. It's the apocalypse, and if you know that you have a limited amount of medicine and you know that the person is injured and you know that the person is going to die without treatment, if only from infection, and you know that if they die, they will turn, unless you bash their head in, is it really evil to kill them? I think it's more, merciful than evil. In my opinion, evil would be to leave them to die and they suffer. That would be evil. So, anyway, I tend to play games like my personality. So that's why, I don't usually, you don't see me ganking or pirating people in Eve, for example, because I don't get enjoyment out of that. When I want to interact uh, aggressively against someone, it's in a more evenly matched strategic PvP based setting where if I win, it's something to celebrate because it was skill that caused me to win, not because, I'm fighting something that can't shoot back, that doesn't, or, I'm stealing from somebody. Now, don't get me wrong, I have absolutely no problem with people that do that because that gives me something to do to defend against people like that. I mean, that's the differences in us is what makes us diverse as people, that we are different. So, that's tend to be me. But keep in mind though that just because I tend to lean on the good side of things doesn't mean that I don't do evil things in games because I mean let's keep it real. I do kill things. Like for instance, I can't play a stealth game without it getting on my absolute last nerve that I can't shoot something. My gut instinct when I play those games is to kill whatever is in my way, not to stealth through it. That's not my thing. So obviously I'm not all that good. You know what I mean? So yeah. That's how I tend to play game. It depends on the situation and the morality choices around it. You cross my character the wrong way and it's a wrap, basically. So 2, any suggestions as a girl on how to get my girlfriend to play games with me? Well, if you know your girl well, you should be able to get an idea of what kind of game she would like to play. And I would start there. So if that's something like Facebook games, The Sims, WoW, something like that, then fine. What I would suggest doing is getting her to like the idea of playing games if she doesn't play versus trying to get her in the game that you like to play. That's different. It may be too high of a skill level. I mean, a lot of guys have told me that the girl, when they tried to get them to play Eve, they seemed all enthusiastic about it at first, and then, of course, the enthusiasm tapered off, and that's because they really weren't interested in the game. They were just more interested in trying to please a guy, and that's the wrong reason to play a game. So think about what she likes, and work up from there. Don't put her in something that's going to make her feel stupid, because then she'll really not like games, and she will wife aggro you all the time when you try to play your games. So I wouldn't do that. Okay, 3. Have I ever considered doing voice acting or erotica? Voice acting, yes. Erotica, when the internet first came out, you had to pay for bandwidth by the minute. But there was AOL was the hot shit back then, and uh, there was a erotica room in AOL, which was the best room ever. Now there was no voice in there. I used to type up a storm in that thing, but um, then before anybody gets weird, the guy that I was seeing, my fiance at the time, he was in the room, and it was great fun. Um, and we made friends in there that I'm still friends with today. So, but as far as using my voice to get into erotica, no, I don't see it. I save that to seduce the guy that I'm involved with when I'm in a relationship. I think that's the best place for it. 4. Does it bother you that Firefall is set in a game world called New Eden? Nah, it doesn't bother me. It was weird hearing it at first, and it was like, couldn't you come up with something more original? But Firefall takes a lot of elements from other things like Coca Cabana. I mean, come on. And the truth of the matter is that when I love a game, I don't love the name of the game or the name of the game world or the name per se of the tunes in the game, the NPCs. I like the game and I like the world. I like the mechanics. If in Eve they were to change New Edom to something else, I would not care because the name itself does not impact me. So I don't consider um, New Eden to be off limits to anything else because that's unrealistic. It's completely unrealistic. If anything, I would probably try to spin it the other way and have my tune from. Remember how way back I had my tune from Azeroth go into New Eden? It'd be the same thing. I would go from Firefall into Eve or Eve into Firefall and try to do a storyline around that. That's probably what I would do. 5. This one I get a lot because um, it's rare. The question is, it's rare to see a girl gamer. Really rare to see a woman of color as a gamer. What is it like for girl gamers dating guys? Well, it's the same thing that guys go through. You know how it is, you come home from work. I work from home, but let's say, okay, you come home from work and you love your girl, you love your family. Wouldn't be me recording something if my phone didn't go off. um, and all you want to do is just get in the game and relax a little bit. And you get wife aggro or kid aggro or something like that. It's the same thing. For me, having talked about love, sex, and relationships a lot in the past, and still do really, uh, compatibility is a key. A lot of people try to get involved with someone that they're not really compatible with, and they try to force, like a square to go into a triangle, and it just doesn't work. So I've learned through experience that I do better not only with gaming guys that game, but guys that play the same type of games as I do. And I've learned that works better for me. Um, but guys tend to, I'm often told, I act like a lady, but I think like a man. And that completely messes guys up because they don't know how to handle that. I'm not that girly female, not to say that I don't act like a lady, but I'm not the woman that will say Sex in the City is on. Will you watch it with me? God, I, ugh, I would never. I don't like chick flicks. And so I can definitely sympathize with that. But the flip for me, whereas a guy would be like, "Oh God, I don't want to sit through a chick flick." For me, it's like, okay, Lord of the Rings is out. I want to see that movie. The guy is not into Lord of the Rings. So how can I see that movie without taking him so he's not annoying me? You see what I'm saying? So it's the same kind of thing. I don't know how else to describe it, but it's the same kind of thing. So uh, in my relationships, when you have two people gaming, you have to prepare for double Xboxes, double PS4s, double PCs, that kind of thing, double games. Just because I'm in WoW doesn't mean you can play my account. You need your own. You need to stand up on your own. I'm not going to be up under the guy. We can be playing the same game and not be anywhere near each other in the game. You see what I'm saying? I don't mind playing with the guy or the guy playing with me, but I don't want him to think that because I'm the girl, he's got to play with me all the time, if that makes any sense. Ice water. So, yeah, that's what it's like. It's just like it's rare to find the girl gamer, particularly the woman of color girl gamer. It is rare for me to find a guy that's into the same type of games or the same kind of books, like the fantasy type in book. Yeah, it's rare. It's very, 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 unfortunately, it's rare. It is rare. I'm gonna throw a sixth one in. What am I doing in Eve? Right now, I am mining for the freighter. And that's why I haven't been chunking out a lot of Eve videos, because mining itself is not the most exciting thing to do. So watching it's really not the most exciting thing to do. So usually when I have when I'm showing mining, I have something that I want to say. So if I don't have something I want to say, then I don't normally put up a video. Now there is one coming up because I got something to say, and I have a clip of from the mining op, which I thought was kind of funny because they geek out in there, and it's I thought it was funny. But anyway, that's why I haven't quit playing Eve. I still love Eve. It's just that I want to get into manufacturing. I want to make my freighter. And right now, I'm skilling for a Mar Cruiser 5 so that I can fly the Curse. And then I have a Claw that I have not flown. So I want to get the skill up for that. And then, things will get back to normal where I'm doing stuff. When I have those long skills, I told you, I go into hibernation almost because it pains me to see that blue bar. So anyway, okay, if you have any other questions, timewhite@gmail.com, or put them in on Facebook. Hit me up on Twitter. I'm at Tyme on Twitter, Tyme, and in YouTube comments. And I'll see you guys in the next one.